There you go.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be here.
So, you're 30 under 30 by Forbes, right? You have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and you won 3. I hope I'm remembering all these stuff. So you won 3 national swimming competition in the US, and you were named App of the Year by Apple in 2016. So that's who Ferris is.
Thank you.
To start with, Ferris, can you tell us what is MySwimPro?
Sure. Well, first of all, good evening. Great to be here with all of you. And it's interesting, in the intro, you talked about, someone who's been through the challenges of starting a company and entrepreneurship. I'm still going through the challenges. So, hopefully I can shed some light. But what is MySwimPro?
So we're never going to have a break?
You never have a break. I think the problems get worse, actually, the longer you've been doing it. So what is MySwimPro? We help people improve their performance and health in swimming. We have an application. You download it in the App Store. It builds you a personalized training program. And we also run in-person events all over the world. Fun fact, one of those people is actually here from India. Deepa, raise your hand. She actually came to one of our events in Thailand, and here we are in the same room at the same time. That's insane.
How many users do you have? I know the number, but...
We have over 2 million downloads, and we've done 8 figures in revenue since starting.
8 figures of revenue. And I know that you didn't go the VC route, right? So you
We raised a little bit of money.
A little bit. How much is a little bit?
Like 1.4 million.
Okay, that's
dollars.
That's just a little bit. That's the American one. Yeah, all right. So you know what? I'm gonna ask you like 3-4 questions.
Sure.
I'm gonna give the mic to anyone who's interested to ask Ferris whatever you guys like.
Yeah.
My first question to you, all right? I know a lot of founders because I speak with a lot of founders, and a lot of founders, some of them are very, very early, and they're obsessed about launching their own product in the most perfect way. And I know that you didn't launch an app. You actually launched a PDF file trying to train. Is my research correct? So
even earlier MVP than that.
Even earlier. Okay, so this is what I know.
Yeah.
Or this is what my AI told me.
Okay. Sure.
So you started selling a PDF to train people. Okay. Am I right? So
Even early, it was even more MVP than that.
What is more MVP than a
So
PDF?
we have an app, right? So you go to the App Store, you download it. That's pretty sophisticated. Even today, you have to go through submission. So you might think, okay, well, PDF, we could just put the workout plan in a PDF and sell that on, with a Stripe checkout or something. No, I launched a website where you could put in your email to download an app that didn't exist yet. So I just built a website and I started generating traffic to this website that had a mock-up of the app. I was catfishing emails. And then I used those emails for initial customer discovery, but I was selling a thing that didn't exist.
Okay, and how did that go? Like, so in your own mindset, right? You were selling something that didn't exist. You already had a plan for it. It seems like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna.
I had a vision. Yeah, it's a great point. So I had a vision of where this product could be, but I think the mistake a lot of people make, and I sound like I knew what I was talking about. We didn't make this mistake. You don't know what the market wants until you go out there and talk and put an offer in front of them and see if they bite. So that was the point of launching this website where people could go in and put in their email and be like, oh, this is interesting. And I A/B tested a lot of different things on that website before we had any product. So I was marketing to swim coaches, to swimmers, to triathletes. I used myself as a testimonial because no one knew who I was at the time. So I just put myself like, this is a great application. It helped me swim so much faster. And then I put my picture and my name. Like no one knew who I was, so it didn't matter. So I got 200 leads through this website. And I used Twitter to drive traffic. And those 200 were the first customer discovery.
So you sold them the PDF file, right? For these.
I sold them nothing.
You sold them.
I sold them the hope.
Where does the PDF come in?
After that, yeah.
After that. So the PDF was the innovative.
Yeah. So it was like, if we want a timeline. So day 1 was idea. Day 2 was build a website of what the idea could be. And then it was step 3 was driving traffic with Twitter to get these emails. Then it was building a product that had a PDF. Then it was launching the app, which gave you a PDF. The first version of the app gave you a PDF.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So that's a biggest example of just launch. That's it. You don't need these perfect products, perfect whatever it is. It's just about launching.
And now it's easier than ever. I was just talking about this. Like we're talking about 2014.
Yeah,
The landscape of launching any product of any kind in 2014 was, I want to say harder, but it wasn't as fast as you can do it right now. So your ability to go out and test your idea is way faster right now.
Interesting. All right. So you're more of a creator CEO because you have 1 million subscribers on your own YouTube channel, approximately 1 million. Do you think that, because there's a lot of shy people or maybe people that are not comfortable in front of the camera, right? Do you think if you haven't done that, MySwimPro would have still been in the same place or maybe?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, and to add some clarity, so when we launched the company, when I launched, I didn't do any YouTube videos. I was very tech focused. We launched an app, and only then people would ask me questions, and I started making YouTube videos to answer questions in the market, and they kind of grew together. So I think to your point about being camera shy, I mean, I had the biggest imposter syndrome when I started making the videos because I didn't go to the Olympics. I'm not Michael Phelps. Like, who am I to give swimming insights? And again, I came from a bubble of collegiate swimming, so I was like good relative to the population. Yeah. But within my bubble, it's like, I didn't even go to NCAAs. Like, I'm a nobody. But once you kind of break through that, it's like, actually, I can still help people. I don't have to be, Michael Phelps. I can, on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'm like an 8. That's good enough to help a 7, a 6, a 5. Like most people are in that category. So I think if you're shy about putting yourself out there and you don't think you have the right expertise, unless you're trying to coach up those people who are, in that 9 to 10 range, it doesn't matter. You can probably help someone by sharing your story and documenting what you're doing.
So let's say someone is shy, not comfortable in front of the camera. Do you think it was a major factor that you succeeded with MySwimPro, or do you think you would have still created the same success without your YouTube channel?
Yeah, sorry, to answer the question, yeah. So I think the business would look different because I think the business would still exist. Maybe we wouldn't have as many downloads or whatever, but I do think that, like now, if you look at the numbers, about 1/3 of our traffic comes directly from YouTube. Okay. And so people go on YouTube, they want to learn about getting better at swimming, they see a video of mine or under our brand name, and then they build trust because they build that connection of sitting there and watching me on their TV for 3 hours. How do I get better at swimming? And then they're like, I trust this guy. Oh, he has an app. It probably is good. And then now with the, with a number as high as we do on the view count of the videos, people just give you trust even though you don't maybe deserve it because they see a big number. I think that's changing now with AI because even if you are shy about being in front of the camera, it's easier than ever to just have a good photo and now you're on camera a lot more than you really are.
Yeah, that's true. So going back to actually confirming your point, because once I was sitting on the sofa in my living room and my son goes like, hey, look, he's a good swimmer, remember? By the way, this is my wife. So he was like, look, he's a very good swimmer. I looked up, I was on my phone, I was like, oh, this is Faris. He was like, who? I was like, just watch. I was too tired to explain the whole thing. So, you invented something as well, which is a day, a special day. And obviously we didn't have, we have multiple days, Mother's Day, Father's Day. And so you ended up inventing
World Swim Day.
World Swim Day.
World Swim Day.
That's bold, number one. And how did that impact your business?
There's an interesting story of why start like an international holiday or something. Yeah. So first of all, no World Swim Day existed. It's like, there's like World Dog Day, World whatever day, and there's no World Swim Day. So, okay, there's a problem in the market. There's a gap in the market. But also the time of the year, like we were actually experiencing like a dip in our traffic. And I'm like, how do we solve this? What are some creative ways? And then I'm trying to remember, I think I saw like World Run Day was happening. I'm like, oh, when's World Swim Day? We can get behind this. And it didn't exist. So then I went and bought worldswimday.org and then the rest is history.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rest is because it didn't exist. So
what is it? Is it a community? Do you like
the goal
scream at companies to give their employees off during that day?
That would be awesome. Everyone has the day off on World Swim Day. Go swim. That's like maybe a 20-year vision. Maybe. But no, the idea is to empower people to go swimming and also raise awareness for people who don't know how to swim. Because if I were to split this room in half the room can't swim. Half the room can't make it to the other end of the pool. So this is a huge problem.
No, because we think we know how to swim. Our father taught us how to swim.
So I'll give you some stats to give myself some credibility.
Yeah.
I think is my mic here?
Oh, here you go.
Good. So in the United States, 54% of the population can't swim one length of the pool. And the United States is one of the best socioeconomically to support a thing like swimming. So the rest of the world is lower than that. So it's actually 5 billion people who can't swim. So the goal of World Swim Day, if you do swim, great, let's go out there and go swim, but also raise awareness for the fact that this is a life skill. And it's actually it's an epidemic in pretty much every country because people, like in America, I think it's 10 people drowned every day.
Oh, wow.
And it's the number 2 or 1 leading cause of accidental death. So when I meet people, I get one of 2 reactions, like, oh, swimming, that's so cool. My kids swim, I swim, whatever. Or, I don't know how to swim. Can you teach me how to swim? I had one woman at a networking event, kind of like this. We were like 4 or 5 of us. It's like, oh, that's so cool, swimming. And one of them came up to me. She's like, I watched my husband drown in front of me.
Put you a step forward so we won't burn you.
Oh, yeah. So she literally told me that her husband drowned in front of her and she couldn't swim. She couldn't swim. And so it kind of hit me like a truck. This is a massive problem. So that's why we started World Swim Day.
Interesting. All right. That's so cool. I think we should do Founders Day.
Founders Day.
Founders Day.
Next week, Thursday.
Really?
That's how it starts. Go buy the domain.
So you'll help me launch that?
Yalla, we'll do it.
Don't go and buy Founders Day.
I'll buy it right now. It's fine. I'll buy it right now.
All right.
You got to move quick on those things. You got to get the domain.
So let's open up for the floor for Q&As. Who has a question? Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, thank you very much. Very, very engaging chat. So, as a Nigerian man, I've always kind of grown up with the view that like, certain people just can't swim, or maybe like my bones are too heavy. Or so, from your perspective, are there certain people that just cannot do it, like humanly or physically swim, or is it generally a skill that anyone can learn?
It's a great question, and the reality is anyone can swim. If you are I was going to say, if you're able-bodied, you can swim, but I know lots of people who are not able-bodied, and that's one of the beauties of swimming, that you can do it without having any limbs. And so, you know, a lot of the thing that holds people back is not their physique. It's like, oh, I'm too muscular, I'm going to sink like a rock. It's like, no, you're not. It's more a matter of the psychology and the fear of the water. That's a lot of the time, maybe there was a traumatic event, or you know someone like that woman, her husband drowned, so she's terrified of being by the water. So if you can get through that, then it's just a matter of learning the skills. And then once you learn the skills, the rest takes care of it. It's kind of like, you know, riding a bike. You're not just born and you know how to ride a bike. But once you learn, you may fall over a few times, but you have the right guidance, and you won't forget once you know. There's hope for everyone.
Sorry, there's another question here, but I just want to ask you, why is Nigerian bones heavy? You guys collected a lot of money from these emails? Sorry, yeah, here you go.
Thanks so much. It's great to hear your story. Sounds like you got a really great YouTube-led funnel to conversions and your app downloads. I was wondering, have you, in the history of the company, have you thought about app downloads and conversions from maybe partnerships and things like that? Things other than like a direct to consumer. How is that?
That's a great question. Yeah, this is
partnership with company or something like that.
Yeah, more of like a B2B2C type of thing. I mean, over the last 11 years, we've tried every acquisition channel you could think of, from paid ads, influencer marketing, organic traffic, YouTube. We have done B2B2C where we're working with an entity and the entity is putting our app in front of their membership. It's really like all of them are possible, is what I've learned. It's just a matter of like, which one has the most scalability? Which one has the best? Yeah, which one has the least headache? Yeah, and which one just makes sense for the offer? So like a lot of people tell me, oh, you should go pitch a healthcare company because you know it's fitness and they want to, you know, all these other apps. It's like, but we're swimming. We're not going to do other sports. So not many people swim. So it's a huge pain to try and get that model to work with a B2B2C. And so the ones that we've pursued are the organic path. We've done paid advertising, and the influencer marketing. And so that's what we're doing right now.
Do you see notable upticks around like the Summer Olympics and things like that?
The huge uptick around the Olympic cycle. Yeah, I mean, we're a very seasonal activity. So even though ideally we target people who are swimming all the time, in the summer, in the Northern Hemisphere, that's a big peak for us. And then January, because people are restarting, they're trying to start new resolution habits. So it's like, all right, new year, new me, I'm gonna get back to swimming. So we see an organic pickup at that point.
Sorry, just a follow-up question. So in 2025, on which channel would you invest most to get more downloads? On which vertical? Is it organic, influencer, ads?
If you were to, in your company, if you were to invest heavily. In us, it's YouTube. We're focused on YouTube.
Organic.
making YouTube content. Yep. But I think it really depends on which one if you're going to do it yourself for your business, which one is the one that you can do the longest, like which one you'll do consistently for a longer period of time. Yeah.
Evan.
Hi.
Okay, so you've been a tech founder for close to a decade now, I believe, or even
more than a decade, yeah.
So you were in a very interesting part of technology when like mobile apps evolved and all of that evolved, and by consequence, developers weren't really a very common thing back then. So what I wanted to ask you was, how did you grow? How was it growing your team? Primarily because you're a tech-based product. You're a software company first and the service later.
Yep.
So how was it really scaling your team while maintaining control and like staying on top of things? And how is that situation now, like 2026, with every AI service in the world basically at the tip of your fingers?
Yeah, I told this story just like an hour ago. I'll give the short version of it, of how the company got started, how I met my co-founders. So I went to a 3-day startup event, kind of like this, but imagine it was stretched out over 3 days. You pitch in the beginning, you recruit a team, and then you deliver a presentation and have a product demo or whatever. So I met 2 of my co-founders at this event, and I'd been networking, trying to reach out, and one of them is still our CTO today. And we've been able to grow through the technology and implement AI into our current offering. But that's not everyone. So we had one guy who parted ways 7 years into the journey. One guy, actually, we had 4 initially, and one guy after the weekend, it turned out it wasn't a good fit. So that was kind of like a live working trial to see if it works. But also, I think maybe it was luck or whatever. At the time, like everyone wanted to join like a tech startup and launch an app. That was like the cool thing. The problem is a lot of people didn't know like what to launch about. And so maybe if you come from like a purely engineering background, it's like, I know how to build the product that like no one else can do. I don't know like what to build. If I launch an app, like the market doesn't really want it. So I was kind of more like the idea guy in the beginning. And then you recruit your tech team. And today though, I mean, our team is pretty lean, just a handful of engineers. And I think what we're doing now, our output is the equivalent of 10 or 20 people from like 2 or 3 years ago. And we had a team at one point close to 20 people. We have 6 now. And our output's better than it was when we had 20.
Thank you very much, Faris. Very interesting, your journey and so forth. But I wanted to just confirm an assumption I have. So you've turned your acquisition channel into a revenue generation tool, essentially, right? Is that the case? Or are you still having like negative?
That is the case. If you to kind of break it down. So we have a YouTube channel, and we have several YouTube channels, and that creates AdSense just right off the bat from YouTube. And so that basically breaks even with the editor that I have that's doing the content. So it's an acquisition channel, but it's like liquidated ad spend because we're not spending. I also did a bunch of brand partnership deals through the company and using my name, image, and likeness. And so like over a period of we don't really do that as much because now I push our own products. It's a little confusing having me pitch like, there's a shaving company that I worked with. There was like nutrition bars, whatever. We did about $750,000 in revenue just from partnerships that had nothing to do with our app. Just like the shaving company, just like other stuff like that. The problem is, it's like a distraction from the core business. So in that regard, it was like ROI positive because it's just me talking about this other company for 30 seconds. You guys have probably all seen this on social media. That's like, and let me tell you about today's video sponsor, this shaving thing, right? So it's a distraction though from our business. So yes, we're still about break even on the advertising revenue we get from like YouTube, but it's not, I'm not looking at it as I have to make money on this. If it gets liquidated, like break even, perfect.
Hey Faris, thanks for your time. Just a quick question. If you were to obviously start over from the beginning with all the knowledge that you have and have the same goal for entrepreneurs worldwide, starting from today, what would you do differently in your plan?
Nice question.
Oh, that's a great question. So do I have the knowledge I have from all these years, but do I have the like influence in my category? That changes the equation quite a bit.
No, let's say you have the same knowledge.
I have the same knowledge, but I'm not known on YouTube.
Yeah, you're not known.
Oh, even better. Yeah, because the easy answer would be like, well, if I could just start a new offer and have traction immediately because everyone knows who I am in the category. So if I don't have that, even better. So I would think critically as to like, what problem am I actually going to solve? Because it's not going to be what I currently do because we already solved that problem. So it's not just like, oh, I'll just repeat what I'm already doing. Because like, if it's not our app, we have competitor apps that are also doing the same thing that we're doing now. So I would actually take a hard look at like, if I want to stay in this market, swimming, for example, what are some holes in the market that are still not being addressed? And then I would repeat all the stuff that I've learned over the last 10 years within that new category. I wouldn't even approach trying to solve the same problem because it's already been solved. So I wouldn't try and do everything that I did over the last 10 years. It's actually what we're doing. We're launching a new offer this summer with that approach. But I have the leverage of being like well-known and we have a brand in the industry. But it's approaching a new problem to a slightly new segment of the swimming market that hasn't been addressed. So I guess the answer is I would do a lot of the same things, but for a very, very specific problem that's still not being solved.
Yeah, sorry, okay. So we're gonna take one more question. I was just trying to get the mic, but one more. Any? Yeah? Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So you just need to speak loudly.
No, you go. Like, yeah, it's fine.
I know like at the beginning, there's always the temptation to want to boil the ocean. I mean, like sticking to swimming, how did you decide to stay there? Because I know there was a question around, you know, the B2B2C and you should have gone through, all of that. How do you decide to stick to swimming as a vertical, I would say?
The question of focus. This is a great question. I don't think I'm actually very good at this. I think most entrepreneurs are terrible at this. That's why you're an entrepreneur, because you couldn't stay focused on one thing in the first place. You're like, oh, I see a problem, I'm gonna go solve it. And then while you're on the journey, oh, there's another problem. I'll give you an example. In 2019, we launched a triathlon app, Swim, Bike, Run. Very similar to what we do, but completely different market. I hired someone just to focus on triathlon. We launched it in 2019, and then triathlon's an event-based thing that you train for, and then 2020 happens and all triathlons are canceled. So like we put in all this effort and energy. We've launched other product offerings as well, even within swimming, and those are distractions. I mentioned it with the content about doing these brand insertions and getting paid for those. That's a distraction. It's basically like, hey, companies like, hey, we'll give you $10,000, just promote this thing. Sure, take the $10,000, do the promotion, and then like, sure, it increases your revenue in that segment. Then it's like, that was a distraction. And so I think I've just gotten better over the years of just burning myself, of just seeing the negative result of trying to take on new things. And that's all within swimming. We're not even talking about like, oh, let me go launch a product that helps people who, do construction work to do X, Y, Z. Like, as an entrepreneur, you will see problems in the market everywhere that you could potentially solve. Or at least that's how I feel. I'm always looking at like, oh man, I could probably start a company around this. But you have to say like, no, because A, I'm not that interested in that specific category, and I already have something going well, so I want to keep pushing it to see how far I can take it.
Great. I'm going to have to steal a bit. Ferris, thank you so much for your time, my man. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Really.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.